What's good, Hoop Scoop fam? It's your boy Jake Wilbur, and today we are redrafting the top 3 picks from last year's 2017 NBA draft. That's right guys, with the All-Star game right around the corner, I wanted to take a second and kind of look at this rookie class and how they're developing. So today we're going to take a look at the top 3 picks in the 2017 NBA draft, and we're going to redraft those top 3 picks according to how they've been playing this NBA season. Alright, so this is how it's going to work. First we're going to talk about the first pick in last year's draft, and then we're going to go back and redraft that pick. So with the first pick in the 2017 NBA draft, the 76ers traded up to get point guard Markelle Fultz. Fultz out of Washington had a lot of buzz going into the draft, and a lot of guys liked him with that #1 overall pick. So at the time, the Sixers looked pretty smart trading up to that #1 draft spot to take Markelle Fultz. So far Markelle's rookie season has gone less than stellar. He hasn't played due to a nagging shoulder injury, and there's a lot of buzz around the NBA going on about how broke his shot form is. So it'll be interesting to see if Markelle Fultz can kind of beat all those doubters, turn out to be a solid #1 overall pick. So for the sake of this video, now we looked at who the Sixers took with the #1 overall pick, and now we're gonna redraft it and see who they should have taken, or if the Celtics should have ever traded out of the #1 spot in the first place. So retrospectively, I think the Celtics always wanted to go with Jason Tatum, and for that reason they're like, alright, well Tatum's probably still going to be there at the 3rd slot, so they're okay with trading away that #1 pick. But looking back at it now, Tatum has been absolutely stellar in Boston this year, and I think if they had to do it over again, they would probably just keep that #1 overall pick and take Tatum so they didn't risk losing him to a team like the Sixers or the Lakers. So Tatum would be our #1 overall pick in this redraft, because I don't think the Celtics, if they had a feeling that any of those other teams would have taken Tatum or would have seen this coming, probably would have jumped on him #1 overall anyway. So I think the Celtics would definitely take Tatum #1 overall because of the talent that he's brought and shown thus far in his rookie season. He's averaging 13 points a game and 5 rebounds, but the more important thing is that his poise and leadership is shining through with that young Celtic squad. He does it on both ends of the floor. He's a great defender, and he's really starting to learn how to fit into that offense with a superstar like Kyrie Irving. So coming into the 2017 draft, Tatum was liked by a lot of NBA scouts, but their one question was, is he able to really shoot from beyond the arc? Tatum has answered all of those questions by shooting a blistering 46% from 3 this season. So for those reasons, I think that the Celtics would probably have just stayed put with the #1 selection and taken Tatum #1 overall in last year's draft. He has really proven himself with a great young Boston squad that's #1 in the East right now, and Tatum's a big reason why. Alright, so now we move on to the 2nd slot in last year's NBA draft class, and the Lakers were picking with the #2 selection overall. The Lakers ended up going with Lonzo Ball, and he's had a lot of scrutiny going into the season, all eyes on him, mostly because of his dad and the family. Really interesting to me to watch Lonzo come into his rookie season because he had so much added pressure with all the media hype, all the big baller brand hype, and you know, just playing for the Lakers franchise in general. And don't get me wrong, Lonzo has definitely had his moments this NBA season, coming up with a few triple doubles. He's looked good, but he hasn't really lived up to that #2 overall selection. So based on some of the other top guards in this draft class, I think the Lakers, if they were to redraft right now, would probably go with guard Donovan Mitchell, who was originally drafted by the Utah Jazz. Donovan has absolutely been ridiculous thus far in the NBA season. He's averaging 19.3 points per game, and he does it in a variety of different ways. Maybe one of the most athletic rookies we've seen in a really long time, especially at the guard position. I think if the Lakers could have seen this one coming, they definitely without a doubt would have probably took Donovan Mitchell over Lonzo Ball. I understand that they really love what Lonzo does and how he kind of controls the pace of the game, but Donovan Mitchell is a game changer, and this dude is going to be one of those guys that's going to be a star in this league for many years to come. I think one of the things I love about Donovan Mitchell the most, what really sets him and Jason Tatum apart from a lot of these rookies in the 2017 NBA draft class, is just that he's got that quiet confidence about him. And he's one of those dudes that, you know, night in, night out is gonna bring it. And so for an NBA franchise to kind of roll your dice on a guy like that, you kind of want dudes like that to come in and have that quiet confidence, have that competitive edge, and really just make a difference for you right away. And I think Donovan would have done that for the Lakers. And could you imagine this dude in LA and in that market? He would have just gone bonkers. Like, everybody would be talking about him. Like, he's been a big name this NBA season, but imagine if he would have been in the LA market with all that publicity. So for all those reasons, I really think Donovan Mitchell is a solid number 2 overall pick for the sake of this redraft. And I really am excited to see what Donovan does in Utah with that Jazz team. I think he's gonna make them a contender in the not so distant future. Alright guys, so now we gotta talk about the number 3 overall pick. Last year, the number 3 overall pick was Jason Tatum. So in the sake of this redraft, we took Jason Tatum number 1 overall to the Celtics and let the 76ers stay at the number 3 position. So number 3 position is held by the 76ers right now. So with the 3rd pick in the 2017 redraft, I think the 76ers would take small forward Kyle Kuzma. Kuzma was originally selected in the 27th draft position by the Los Angeles Lakers. That's right, Kuz has been an absolute beast for the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 16 points a game with 5 rebounds to go along with that. In the first half of the season, he really didn't, you know, play that much. And then once he was forced into a starting role, he's kind of really just bursted onto the scene, looking really, really good for that young Lakers squad. And honestly, what's not to like about Kuz? He kind of does everything out on the floor, and he's one of those guys that's a certified bucket getter. He can get hot at any moment in time, and a lot of guys have a hard time guarding that dude when he's feeling it. I think if the Sixers could have saw Kuzma coming onto the scene like this, they probably would have went with Kuz with the number 3 overall pick. They already have a bona fide great point guard in Ben Simmons, one of the best young point guards in the league today, that kind of does it all and is a distributor out on the floor. And they also got Joel Embiid, a force in the paint. So if they added a straight scorer into that mix in Kyle Kuzma, imagine how scary that team would be in the East right now. I honestly can't wait to see what Kyle Kuzma does for the Lakers this season and moving forward. I think he's a bona fide superstar and is going to be a really solid piece for that Lakers franchise moving forward. I love doing videos like this one because as an NBA fan, you always think about these types of things, like what if we could have got Jason Tatum, or what if we could have got Donovan Mitchell, or what if we could have seen Kyle Kuzma coming. I love thinking about this stuff and how it would have changed the NBA landscape. So if you guys like this video and want to see more videos just like this one, don't forget to subscribe to us at HoopScoopTV. And if you haven't already, make sure you like this video and then leave a comment behind. I run all of my content off of your guys' requests, so you're going to want to leave a comment behind and hopefully I can get to it. As always guys, this is Jake Wilbur with HoopScoopTV, and until next time, we out.